I'm Lucia Davis and you're listening to the Pop-Up Podcast. Hello. I'm Lucia and you're joining me on the Pop-Up Podcast with my old school friend. Let me just get rid of that word old for a second, okay, because she's not old. She's not old. Look at her. She's gorgeous. It's Lucy Lucken from school. We were on the hockey team together. Can you believe that?
I can't. I don't even know how to play hockey anymore.
I'm in your house.
You are in my house.
We're in a big farmhouse.
We are in the middle of nowhere in the countryside.
Where are we really?
We're in Herefordshire.
This is the first time I've been to Herefordshire. It's absolutely beautiful.
It's a really beautiful county and we're really lucky to be here.
Well, so are we, aren't we, Henry?
Yes.
Henry, our producer.
Guys.
Hi, Henry. Love Henry. You know Henry was 5 when he came into Lucia's world, don't you?
That's scary.
It's scary. He's 26 now, and he's part of the Lucia's World production team. And
oh, fantastic.
I know, and I was telling him all about you the other day and said, listen, should we go up and see Lucy and find out more about her business? Because you are a businesswoman now, like me. It's very grown up, isn't it?
It's quite frightening. I'd much rather be a teenager again.
Playing hockey, getting covered in mud.
Yeah.
Do you remember the story about when I played hockey? This is one for the kids listening now. It was a big mistake that I made. I was not a team player. But I love the fact that school is a place where you can, you know, kind of iron things out. You can make mistakes, but you need to learn to be accountable. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but one of the matches that we were playing, I'd bullied off and off I got. I just decided this day that I didn't think all the other team members were playing as good as me. I was putting a lot of effort in.
Fair enough.
And
I was probably stood in the goal.
Well, you were in the goal waiting.
Do you know what the best thing of that was? I used to wear about 23 layers, so I was always warm and I had sweets in my pocket.
Oh, did you? I never knew you had sweets. I'd have been in defence if I knew that. I'd have been at your end. But no, I bullied off, ignored all the teammates, and then ended up scoring a goal
against
in
me.
Your net against you. That's how cocky I was. And after that, I remember the girls just like stopping and looking at me like, where are you? It's like, slow down, you're going the wrong way. Tuned them all out, and there I was, scoring in your goal.
There you go. I probably didn't even notice.
Because you were eating sweets.
Yeah.
What sweets did we have back then? Snap and Crackle.
Oh, 1 bar from
Opal
the tuck
fruits,
shop.
1 bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always had one of those, slightly warm, in the inside of my blazer pocket. Very chewy.
Very chewy.
And if you got a fresh one out of the tuck shop, it broke your teeth.
Yeah, it did in winter. You could crack a back tooth.
You could.
You had to be very careful.
Absolutely. Eating sweets is a serious business.
So if you're listening today, maybe you're driving the kids to school, you're on the way back, you're in a darkened room in a cupboard, you've been parenting so long that you need a break. Tune into this today because this is going to make you laugh. I've brought you a present.
Have you?
Yeah, we went into different careers from leaving school.
We did.
I was the class clown, as you know, and I did used to make people laugh. So I've brought you a red nose.
Thank you very much.
So anybody listening today, obviously it's an auditory podcast as well, auditory podcast, but also you can watch the video. We are filming as well. So Lucy, give a little wave to the camera there. There we go. And then they can see at home. If you tune into this on our website, you'll be able to see what I've just given Lucy.
I've only just found the... there we go. Now I sound like a rail announcer.
You do?
I do.
The next train leading for Herefordshire is in the next 15 minutes on platform 4.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that you could have a career and a family and everything?
I had very, very vague thoughts about what the future held. I assumed I'd have a family at some point, but what I was really focused on, once I'd decided what I wanted to do, because I didn't have a clue, I worked in TV.
Right, let's take these off for a second. I worked in TV.
Yeah,
and after a while, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Oh, itchy. Okay, but you do suit that red nose.
Thank you very much. It matches my cheeks.
Yeah, your little rosy cheeks. You've got a good complexion. You're looking good. In your 50s now, like me, aren't you? Thank you. I love being in the 50s.
Do you know what? It's not a bad age to be. Some of the manicness of the kind of middle years between being a mum and all those kind of things. You know, I'm lucky. My kids are older, still bringing home their washing. But
will that ever end?
I don't think so. Asked to be fed. you know, and come home and has after living away from home, being able to do all their own cleaning, cook their own meals, seems to be incapable of making themselves a cup of tea. But anyway, moving on.
But when you were at school, did you think, yeah, one day I would like a family? I'd like a big family, or did you see yourself?
No, I didn't.
Had you already named your kids? Mine were going to be Alex and Benjamin.
No, I wasn't at all interested in that kind of stuff, really. It was.
So was it career? I'm going to leave Kingsway. We both went to Kingsway School, didn't we? In Cheadle.
I went to sixth form college at Aquinas.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what I wanted to do. I didn't feel I was particularly academic, as in, you know,
top marks for everything. It just.
I was middle of the road. Nothing. It didn't particularly come easy to me. Particularly things like maths. Hated maths.
Yeah, you're good at being a goalie. Look at the number of, you know, balls that you let in the net.
I mean, one of the bonuses was once I damaged my wrist roller skating.
Really?
I was at a
roller skate.
We did used to roller rink.
And
we used to go to a roller rink. And I was at a roller rink, and a lady who was with her kids fell in front of me. Obviously was unbelievable Olympic standard. Obviously. Thought, I know, I'll jump over her. Landed on the tip of my finger and sprained all my wrist. And funnily enough, it was a long time before I could actually hold a pen in maths. All my other subjects were absolutely fine.
Interesting.
But maths,
adding up sums.
It lasted a bit longer. It was funny that.
I wasn't particularly good at maths. I've had an accountant in my business since I was 22. He does all my maths for me.
Yeah, I don't do the maths for the business either.
I still have the same accountant now.
Yeah,
he's wonderful.
So did I have an idea about family and stuff like that? No, I didn't.
No.
I discovered when I was at sixth form that I wanted really interested in working in media, television.
Okay.
I went and did, if you can hear groaning, that's my dog in the background, everybody who's looking for attention. Please ignore her.
I have to keep stroking her.
Thank you, Henry.
She'll get up any time now if somebody else appears and start barking. So again, ignore that too.
You're part of the show, Betty. That's fine. This is your home as well, isn't it? You're a fur baby. So that's okay. You're welcome on the show. Is Betty a Labrador?
She is Black Labrador.
Black Labrador. We might be able to get her on at the very end.
She might
see. If you love dogs, you will love this dog. She is very
gentle. She's very chilled. She's a bit of an old lady now. Bit of grey hair, just like the rest of us. Yeah, she's joining the team. So I went to university.
Yes,
but I didn't.
Which university?
I went to Salford.
Okay.
Because it has a really good media production department, and I did. Not a degree, I did an HND, so it was 2 years. I took a year out after my A-levels because I only really discovered what I wanted to do right at the end of my A-levels, so I hadn't applied for anything. So I took a year out and then applied and decided that that was the course I wanted to do. So I did an HND.
Yep.
Loved it.
Right.
And then did an awful lot of working for free for TV companies.
Yeah.
And eventually...
Did it take you out and about everywhere? Is that why you liked it? Were you working with a good group of people? Or was it exciting?
It was exciting and it was different because I worked I didn't have a contract with a TV company. I don't think that's even exists today. Right. But there were permanent jobs within places like the BBC or the big companies.
Yeah.
But I worked on a contract basis for independents.
Right.
And I got my first...
What was your title? What?
Well, it depended. I started off as a runner, which is basically the tea person.
And did you have to run everywhere? You know,
yes, I did. And my first job was at the 4th floor of the top of an old warehouse in Islington, making a magazine programme for Sky.
Wow.
And which didn't last very long, to be honest.
No.
They decided they didn't want to keep doing it, but it was a lot of fun and it was live.
Wow.
And it gave me a taste of live TV because basically, as you know, when you're performing, if it's going to go wrong, it will go wrong.
This is it.
And you have to be really, you've got to be
quickly
really quick on
your
feet. And obviously, I was behind the camera, not in front of the camera, so I was helping So I started off as a runner, and then I got a promotion up to researcher. So I was getting all the details to go into the programme.
Wow.
You know, when I was a runner, I did things like cooking a meal for Philip Schofield, who was a guest, and it was one of the days. Each day had its own team, and I worked on the day, and it was actually James Martin's first TV
the TV
chef role, I think.
Okay.
And I was hiding behind the scenes, trying to make the sausages I was cooking not sizzle.
So part of your job is trying to make sausages unsizzling.
Be quiet whilst cooking in the kitchen of the studio.
And did you manage to succeed at that? Did you manage to actually stop a sausage sizzling?
But I was literally huddled, and the cameras are all live, and they're being interviewed over there, and James Martin's pretending to cook, and I'm like hiding behind, trying not to get into shot, and, you know, did some stuff like that.
Keeping it real, Lucy. This is behind the scenes of showbiz.
Absolutely.
And it is. It's a business of show. Isn't it? At the end of the day.
And a show like that, a magazine show, a bit like This Morning, but not quite that calibre.
Okay. Yeah.
But you get a lot of really interesting people. Like, you meet a lot of interesting people.
Oh, over the years. It's been fascinating who I've managed to bump into on the party circuit.
But at times work was hard to come by, so I temped in between. I was based in London, and then I did a temping job and met my husband.
And what age? Where are we now?
I was 24 then.
So by 24 you were living in London.
I was living in London.
And you just met your
future husband.
When you met him, did you think love at first sight and I will marry you?
No, I ignored him. It was Monday.
Don't you love her honesty, Henry? Fabulous.
I ignored him.
Much what Gareth will think.
And I was reading the Media Guardian, because Monday was Media Guardian. I was looking for a proper job.
Right.
And he'd just flown in from the Middle East, where he was based at the time, to come to it was a construction site in London, where I was temping. And we became friends first, and then ended up together.
Wow.
But once that project had finished, his job moved away.
Okay.
And I was kind of a bit fed up of the rat race in London.
Yeah.
The not being able...
Was it stressful? When we hear of the rat race, I've always worked pretty much up north.
Yeah, it could
really
be at times,
but
obviously it's more expensive. Even back then, the disparity between the north and south and the cost of living was vast.
So were you spending your pay packet quicker as well? So even if jobs were,
working
TV,
more, working TV, some of the jobs you were working, when you were working, you worked a lot. Sometimes I worked 17-hour days.
Gosh.
So you don't get a chance to spend your money, but then you might not have
work.
Saver. But then you might not have work for a while, so you live off your savings. You know, if you
you kind of eke it out.
And I decided, his job moved away from London, and it was like, well, what do I want to do? Do I want to stay here? Do I want to? And his job was as demanding and time consuming as mine. But obviously, he earned more money than me.
Okay.
And I made the decision that I was quite happy to move away. No, I wasn't planning to give up my job in the media. No. But we actually moved to Herefordshire for a period of time.
Right.
And there's not, other than commuting to Bristol, where there's TV there, there's not a lot of opportunity, or there certainly wasn't at the time. To carry on working in media. And in fact, his job then took us overseas, and we moved overseas. So
wow.
And then I became a mum. And
so tell me about Max. You say you became a mum. How old were you when you had Max?
I was 28 when I had Max.
28.
Yeah.
Does it seem a long time ago, or 5 minutes ago? How old is Max now then?
He's 20. He's 21 now.
Yeah. Has it gone fast?
Yeah, it has gone fast. It has gone fast, and a certain number of the years are a bit of a blur. There is, you know how it's almost like fast forwarding a tape, and then it stops, and you go, "Oh yeah, I remember that clearly," and then it zips along again.
Yeah,
it's a bit like that.
Yeah. And of course, you've got 2 children. You've not just got Max. So
no, I've got.
Was he around about 4? And you thought, do you know what? I'm going to pop another one out. I'll get him somebody to play with for a bit.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It just happened. I don't really remember the thought process around it. I think I've got a younger sister, and I never wanted Max to be an only child.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But you have produced really the nuclear family. I mean, I had a mum and a dad. My dad was older than my mum by a couple of years. They had a boy first and then a girl. It's like picture postcard as it was back in the day.
Exactly.
That's what a family looked like in a lot of the books and the magazines. And
I did the same.
You did that, didn't you?
I did, yeah, because Harriet is 18 now.
Wow.
So there's about 3.5 years. I think it's 3.5 years between the 2 of them.
Yeah. Did you think you'd create a nuclear family though?
No, I didn't, because Harriet was going to be a boy. Because all my husband's family, they're all boys.
Really?
She was the first girl to be born 30 out of 13 kids or something like that.
So how was she received in the family? Was she like this precious
Oh my God,
princess?
the aunties went mad. Pink everything. I hate pink. It was pink everything.
But
and
the gender conditioning came straight in.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were waiting for this girl. Is she pink and frilly and...
She was for a long time. For a long time. She's got out of that. She's less frilly
out
and
a bit.
Pink. Yeah.
Did she become sporty at any time?
Yeah,
like
she played hockey. She was the goalkeeper.
Oh, there you go. So she followed in your footsteps.
Yeah. Luckily for both my kids, they've got my husband's genetics, as in they're both incredibly tall. I am a very short person in my own house now.
Well, I'm here at Lucy's and she's got the most beautiful beams. And she was telling me earlier on, you can jump, you could have a trampoline in here and still not touch the beams.
Yeah, whereas everybody else cracks their head.
So you've produced these beautiful long-legged children.
Yeah.
I've seen them, I've met them. They came on the party circuit, didn't they? Harriet particularly.
I think Max was probably a little just outside the age range, but Harriet came to a lot of your parties. And in fact, that was the first time we had connected since we left school. I hadn't seen you at all, and then we turned up to a party. It's like, oh my God, I went to school with her.
I went to school with that. Look at that. Yeah. So at that point, did you think, I knew that'd happen. I knew. Because I was a bit of a class clown. I did make people laugh.
I mean, I think we were talking not that long ago. And I think you were in a different part of the year group that my classes didn't really cross over. I don't think we were in the same class.
I think, wasn't
yeah,
it? Or I'd say the playground.
You had gone to primary school with some of the friends that I had at secondary school, so we crossed over a bit there.
Yeah.
But generally, academically, we didn't mix at secondary school.
We didn't have the same. We might have had some of the same teachers and the same subjects and followed the curriculum, but we weren't sat side by side.
So like
doing typing together, were we, or English and maths? Well, maths. Maybe we were in the same group trying to not be in maths. No, but we were the good girls. We didn't
of
wag
course,
it.
We were very good. No, we didn't.
And there was a lot of exclusions back then.
There were teachers' strike. First 2 years, we hardly went to school at all. I spent more time going to school with my mum, who was a teacher, than going to Kingsway at certain times.
Yeah, I remember.
And of course, there was no after-school activities, no sports, none of those things.
That all stopped, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was strange times. God knows how we actually got through it. I suppose it's a bit like COVID.
Yeah.
The disruption.
It does sound a bit like COVID,
it
that
does,
disruption.
Because
Obviously not with the same limitations, but it did stop us having a
full education. And I think, and it put us 2 years behind where we should have been in terms of getting that knowledge. And so many of...
So basically, if the teachers didn't strike, we'd have been a lot cleverer, Lucy.
Yeah, we could have been ruling the world,
do you know what?
Lucia.
We could have been. I think we are ruling the world. Look where we are. We're at the top of a beautiful hill. But you are ruling your own world. You've got your own empire here. I want to talk about this as well. So you've talked a bit about going to uni, and you've talked about starting off in TV and things like that. Meeting your gorgeous husband Gareth, following him, uprooting and following him
I tell
for a
you
while.
what, I can pack a
Having
house in
kids.
about 2 weeks and move continents. It's dead
Very
easy.
good. That's a skill.
It's a really good skill. Yeah.
But then you've worked as well. You've set up this business now, and
Yes.
I saw what you were doing on Facebook. Obviously, a lot of the work that I do now is social media based. It's just the way it is. Years ago, it wasn't. It was word of mouth in the playground. But now, I've got a podcast and I've got an app and I've got all these things going on. And so that has also kept us connected. So I often see people from school, or I see people I've worked with, or mums on the party circuit, like just being champions. Do you know? And I saw this pop up and I was like, oh, what is this all about? And then I saw your gorgeous face and I'm like, oh, there's my friend Lucy. I was just about to crack that hockey ball in the back of the net and I'm like, what is she doing? What is this all about? So it says, welcome to Found. We are here to help you discover your power naturally. So I'm like, what is this all about? This looks great. And then this lovely logo here of, very artistic. So again, it reaches me as a female. I'm looking at this and it's, I'm like, oh, this looks gentle. It's womanly. It's health and well-being possibly. And I'm like, what's she found? What have you found, Lucy? What is this business that you've set up? Because you are the co-founder.
I am the co-founder.
Wow. Tell me.
It's a family business.
Yeah.
We have, my brother-in-law is a farmer based here in Herefordshire.
Right.
And as some people may know, the agricultural industry is struggling here in the UK. So we were looking to diversify what we do on the farm, as well as we have beef cattle and we have traditional arable farming.
Aren't you calving at the moment? Did you say calving?
Yeah, calving.
When a cow
Calves.
has a calf,
it calves.
It calves.
Yeah.
So
calving.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure today how many we've got, but
would I be allowed to?
Yeah,
come and see them? Are you going to show me them?
I will take you to see the cows.
Thanks.
We've got a bull called Basil.
A bull called Basil. Basil the bull?
Basil the bull. And they are not a traditional breed of cattle.
Right.
They are a special breed that started in America, which is a particular beef breed. So it's a mix of all the best genetics.
Okay.
So they're best mothers, easy calves, and they have a very unappealing name called stabiliser cattle.
Stabiliser? That just takes me back to being out on my bike, playing out.
Yeah, exactly. And the things that came off your handlebars to make them flutter in the wind.
Yeah. No. Do you remember putting the little plastic on the spokes as well, and then it'd make like
I do.
Or folding like a small piece of like a cereal box, and you could stick that in between your spokes and that would give you the same effect.
Okay, I don't remember that, but
yeah, I used to do that.
Okay,
just took us back there for a second, playing out.
Yeah.
Fast forward again.
Back to the business.
Back to the so grown up.
So my husband is an engineer, so he developed hydroponic growing units, which speed up.
What does hydroponic mean? I think I'm getting a wave from Henry. Did you want to know what hydroponic means, Henry, or do you know what hydroponic means?
I want to know what it means.
Okay, what does hydroponic?
Can
I try and spell it?
Betty.
Go on.
HYDROPONIC. Oh, okay. So phonetically, as it sounds.
Yeah.
Hydroponic. Have a guess. What do you think that means, Henry?
Something to do with water.
Hydro.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's growing crops without soil, in water.
Wow.
So
Never heard of that.
Yeah. So we started off growing salad crops and herbs as testers.
Wow.
And because of the hike in energy, it's not really financially viable in the current market in the UK. But we had already had plans to do microgreens because they have huge health benefits.
When you say microgreens, it sounds a bit Australian. Do you know there's a bit of a twang there?
Sorry.
You don't have to apologise for it. I love it. Yeah.
Microgreens.
You need to be getting these in Australia, mate.
Yeah.
Do they have microgreens in Australia?
They probably do, actually. They're quite health conscious and they like new technology.
Is this a global company? Could you take this anywhere?
Yeah.
But it's family kind of owned. It's
family based.
Lived and developed based.
Yeah. There are
could be
several members of our family, several generations. So my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Two brother-in-laws, 2 nephews, myself, my husband. The kids sometimes work for the business, and one of my nephew's kids.
And it's an outdoor business. And what if it is outdoors, yeah?
No, it's all indoor growing. None of it's outdoors, and that's the beauty of hydroponics.
Or you're in the countryside.
Yeah.
You actually go inside to
they're
do the
all
growing.
that we convert 40-foot shipping containers into growing units. And
this is like mind blowing. I want to come and see. You're gonna have to take me.
I'll take you.
Yeah, will you?
I'll take you. Yeah,
that'd be good. Henry, we could do some filming. And have you ever been to anywhere like this, Henry?
No, never.
Is she making all this up? I don't even know if this is real. Let me have a look at this again. Right, so microgreens.
Microgreens.
Okay, so
they only grow.
So what are they then?
A microgreen is a plant.
I've got some plants here.
We harvest it at the first 2 or 4 leaves, depending on the plant.
Yeah.
Coming out from the seed, so it doesn't need fertilizer because all the energy to grow is already. So one of your beautiful things there, that's a tomato. I think.
I've got a tomato, a carrot. I think that's a garlic.
Oh, nice.
Cute, isn't it? That. I think that's a garlic, or maybe that's garlic and that's something different.
Oh, I don't know.
An onion.
Yes. Well done, Henry. 5 points for that. I'm going to put them here in my seed packet. So talk me through. So when you get to this bit,
yeah, but
not this bit. We're not growing this.
No, literally the first shoot. So when you grow anything, you put a seed in the ground, and it grows.
Oh, just to interrupt for a second. You know, Frankie's got her own growing business, don't you? Those are for you. Frankie sent those.
Thank you so much.
Those are sunflowers. Well, 5th generation.
5th generation, impressive.
It'd be great if you could get some in your pots round here.
Yeah, I'll do my very best.
But don't, let them go past this stage. Let them go full bloom.
We do, in fact, grow sunflowers.
Do you?
Yeah, and take them as microgreens.
Wow.
And they are basically the energy and all the goodness that's in a full plant, in a fruit.
Right.
Is contained.
Because tomatoes are fruit. Not everybody, not all the kids know that.
Is contained in those first few shoots.
Wow.
So, and it doesn't require the energy or the feeding that would take it to that. So I can grow an entire crop from seed to the microgreen when we want it to finish, depending on the variety, because there are several.
Okay. But they wouldn't go to full term like this.
No,
they wouldn't look like this.
7 and 14 days, and then they're harvested, and then we start all over again.
Okay, so the next stage. Have a guess, Henry. Okay, so if they're not going to go full term like this and look like what you'd get in a supermarket or at a grocery store, what do you think they look like? How are we going to get them in our bodies? Any idea?
Eat them.
Eating them is a very, very good suggestion. Is that the correct answer, Lucy?
It is the correct answer.
Okay.
In fact,
so
they look a bit like your seed on the front of them when they're harvested. It depends. They're all colours. It's very beautiful. We've got bright pinks and purples and greens and yellows.
Are you sure you're not making this business up?
Absolutely positive.
Have you not? Since we left school and we were playing hockey, you just sat at home twiddling your thumbs. These kids don't exist. You're just watching daytime telly.
I'm delusional. That's what it is.
It's just
actually many people have probably called me delusional many times throughout my lifetime. And basically they're harvested and we freeze dry them, and freeze drying rather than just drying them locks it in all the minerals and vitamins and things in a concentrated fashion, and then they're dry and we powder it, and we either blend them all together and make a powder, or we make them into tablets. Okay, I'm going to put my hand up now. Can I try? You can indeed. Okay. Funnily enough, here's one I prepared earlier. Wow. Now, when I saw you online, I didn't want to research you too much. I mean, you do have a website and everything. Yeah, we do have backstories there, and you can get these lovely pamphlets, and it'll tell you all about you and how you've come into it. It's gorgeous. But I don't know, honestly, that much about this business, which is why I'm here today. It's all about natural things going in your body. So many products out in the market, in the kind of health and well-being. Let's face it, vegetables don't taste great. Well, lots of kids don't like them, and there's lots of kids that don't eat vegetables. Yeah. Is this a solution? It is. Can we get these in kids' bodies? You can, but you have to make sure that they're quite potent. So these 3 tablets. Because
Do kids like the taste of sprouts?
So that is
Broccoli?
an adult dose.
Okay.
Okay, so a child could
So
take...
you get 3 of these.
Yeah.
And that's 1 dose.
That's all you need in a day.
And how often? So
once
you'd
a
have
day.
3 of these once a day.
And all you have to do is take it with some water.
Okay. Is this the water that you prepared earlier?
It is water I prepared earlier.
Is this from the tap up here?
It is.
Do you have your own pump?
We do, because we're on a well. We don't have many.
Did you know they have their own pump?
No,
I never knew.
And when we have power cuts in storms, which we get quite
Yeah.
a lot, we've got no water because it's all pumped in from the well. And when the power goes off,
So
we've
you've
got no
grown up,
water.
left school, and you've got your own well.
Yeah,
Love it. Wow. Is it a wishing well?
I wish it was a wishing well.
She wishes it was a wishing well, a wishing well, a wishing well. She wishes it was a wishing well. It's a tongue twister, that, Lucy. I'm going to bring that song out. Lucy's
Okay.
wishing well that she wished she had. Is it a wishing well?
What would I wish for, though? I don't know.
You've got it all loose. I'm loving it. Do you feel grateful? Are you happy?
Yeah, I am, and I'm
Yeah.
really proud of what we've achieved.
You should be.
It's
You
been,
should be, my friend. It's good.
as you
It's
know,
good stuff.
having your own business has trials and tribulations
does. It's not
all
easy
the
when
way, and you
it's
might
not
have a
easy.
plan, and on
Yeah.
paper, it's
great.
plain sailing. You know exactly what
Great
you're doing.
concept stage.
It's amazing how things come and disrupt it.
Yeah, like a pandemic.
Yeah, like a pandemic. It made.
Or-
So we started
Yeah.
out. We started the business during the first lockdown. Really.
Did you?
Yeah, and having but then
Hey, Betty.
hi Betty.
There you go. I told you Betty would come
Hello,
and join us at some
darling.
point. Isn't she gorgeous?
No, you
Betty,
can't.
you can't have these. Can
them
animals
those.
have these? No.
It's not advised.
No. Not for you, I'm afraid, Betty. These are for
She
me.
doesn't. She does occasionally. Before we did the tablets, Betty, what is it? Before we did the tablets, we only had powder.
Off my nose. So you had the powder
can
and
sit
then the
down.
tablets.
Good girl. And the powder I used to take with my breakfast, and Betty likes to lick the plates. It's a terrible, terrible habit. Don't do it, kids. It's a terrible habit, but there used to be remnants of that.
Did you
and
notice that she had a shinier coat, or she could run
She's
faster?
always just.
Because these, do you know what these look like for me? You know, in James and the Giant Peach.
Yes.
And they have the magic
Yeah.
beans, and the man turns up, doesn't he, with the bag?
Yeah.
And... Okay, so I've got. Can I take them all at once, one after the other?
Yeah.
Can I chew them?
No, you can, but I wouldn't
I'm going to
advise
chew
it.
it.
All right.
You wouldn't advise it. You know me. I like to think outside the box, Lucy.
Okay,
I think they're chewable.
What do you think they smell of? Let's do this, people.
The countryside, vegetables, soil.
Vegetables, yeah, they smell very
yeah, they do
earthy.
smell outdoorsy.
They're very
It's
earthy.
a nice smell.
Yeah.
It's nice. But I love that. It's a camping
it's
smell.
got-
Smells of camping.
It's got 16 microgreens in it. 16 different varieties of microgreens.
Wow.
Ashwagandha.
Microgreens.
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 And ginseng in it. So it's all
Wow.
blended together without anything else in it. No flavourings, no nothing. That is how.
no other additives.
No other
It's
additives.
Pure
That's
as
it.
the driven snow.
Absolutely. Hence why it's called Pure Greens.
Right, it's like a taste test. I am going to
Okay, go for it.
see if I can chew it and crunch it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Broccoli.
What am I getting? It's a bit like, because again, you're not meant to chew it, are you?
No, you're really
Okay.
just supposed to swallow it.
It's not that bad chewing it, to be fair, because while I'm chewing it, I am getting those vegetable flavours.
And there's herbs in there. There's parsley and other things in there as well.
Why are you laughing? Just because Betty's... Is it Betty's like, stroke me.
Betty purrs when she's happy, and
Are you a cat,
Henry
Betty?
is fussing Betty, and therefore she's
Do
purring.
more. Do it
She's
more.
purring in quietly in the background.
There's an aftertaste. It does taste like vegetables, but it's not.
We do it. You can take it in a powder, so you could put it in a smoothie with fruit.
Yeah.
And other things if that's how you like to taste it, but so many because it basically balances your body. So all the microgreens have been chosen specifically. They're not random.
I'm excited now. I wish I wish my body was see-through and I could actually see what was happening.
It takes
And how it
about
would-
7 days, depending on how your system works, for you to get
Okay.
the full balance in your system. So what it does is your stomach is the second most intelligent thing in your body.
Really?
And it controls how the rest of your body works.
Wow, so we should be listening to our gut.
Yeah.
When we talk about
literally.
gut instinct. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if your stomach works better, the
Yeah.
rest of your body works better.
Okay.
So for me, since I've been taking it, I have found I have much better energy levels, consistent energy levels. I don't have brain fart as much as I used to.
Well, I was going to bring up farts.
Were you?
Because when people eat vegetables, I mean, come on, Christmas Day,
it actually reduces
Brussels
it, and it
sprouts,
stops.
it reduces the trumps.
Yeah, and because your stomach works better, so it's
Okay.
not
Less
producing
gassy.
so much gas. It reduces bloating. Some people have said they get better, stronger nails and hair and skin.
Wow.
Again, everybody has a different diet, a different lifestyle, and their body works differently to each other. So some people will find that happen, some people won't. It stopped me snacking in the morning, taking it at breakfast like I do. I used to get absolutely starving at about 10 o'clock and go, ooh, biscuits, or, just to get you through to, and I don't.
Like an appetite suppressant maybe a little bit for you.
Yeah, your body adjusts and it just goes, do you know what? I don't need that. I'm absolutely fine. So I don't find myself getting those hungry.
Cravings. Henry, do you want to try one?
Yeah, go on, I'll try one.
When Henry was 5 and I used to entertain him on his birthday, we used to do the taste test. And we'd have, I think we even had the Harry Potter music
Are you
on.
having one or are you having 3? Go on.
I need 3, do I?
Yeah.
Well, that's
do
the
3.
daily
do
dose.
Do it.
Take one,
Okay, I'll take one.
then you can decide whether or not.
Are you going to chew it?
I was thinking about
Chew it! Do it and chew it, do it and chew it. Can you believe he's 26, Lucy? It goes past.
It's fantastic.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's the same kind of, can you believe he's 26? Can you believe we're 50?
Oh, no.
It's rude.
It is rude.
Really rude.
But it's also fabulous. We said this earlier on, how fortunate we are to be going into this 5th decade.
Absolutely.
When some of our friends aren't here anymore.
This is very true.
You know? Yeah. So I do feel blessed. But yeah, I'd like a little bit more, what's it called? Estrogen. I think
collagen.
Collagen, estrogen.
Yeah.
I think, just lift it.
I'd love to develop a pill where I look 20 the next day.
Delicious. I'm not sure about chewing it. I'm sure I just swallowed it.
Did you just swallow it whole? That doesn't count. Have you only had one?
No, he did chew it.
You've got to be honest
chew
though.
it.
Did you chew it?
Yeah.
What did you taste? Any particular vegetable?
It's just very earthy.
It is earthy, isn't it?
It is very earthy.
It's like when you were a kid and you were playing in like the mud, making mud pies, and then you pick up a worm and maybe
eating grass and
eating grass.
Yeah,
didn't we all do that?
Absolutely.
Making daisy chains, sitting there eating a little piece of grass. That's what it is.
Yeah,
that is what it is.
Yeah, you're really close to it. Yeah. And basically, it helps your body work better.
Wow!
It's not going to make you look 20 tomorrow morning. More's the pity. But it will help, and it's good. It's proven to help your immunity and lots of other things. Brilliant. And each of the microgreens is selected for their individual strengths and reaction, but also how they react together. So some of them have a symbiotic relationship and make each other work better together than they would separately.
It's clever stuff, this. I don't remember you being... This sounds really rude, and I don't mean it to be. I don't remember you being this clever at science.
No, I really
sciencey, and you seriously know your stuff.
To be fair, my husband helps.
Well, you're a team.
A lot.
Yeah.
We are a team.
How long have you been married now?
24 years nearly.
Wow. So 25 is the big one. Is that silver wedding anniversary?
Oh, no. Is it?
It is,
Is it?
Silver. Google it, Henry. Just Google it.
I don't know. To be honest, and
24 years, wow.
And I do joke sometimes that, my husband's job, he spent an awful lot of time working overseas.
Yeah.
And we're not always together because when we've had the children.
Is that a good thing?
Well, possibly.
Has it been a good thing? Do you feel lonely when he works away from home?
Yeah, it's hard work. I mean, when the kids were little, when Harriet was 4, 5, we moved to Qatar together as a family.
Wow.
And that was the first time that we'd lived together as a family since we'd been born full time.
Gosh.
And it has its challenges.
Yeah. Because he's away at the moment, isn't he?
He is away at the moment. I mean, sometimes trips extend, which is really frustrating, particularly not now because the kids understand, but when they were smaller and you're like, yeah, Daddy's coming home this week. Yeah, no, he's not.
Oh, yeah. So managing those emotions.
And for that period, of time, I had to put my desires for a job or a career on the back burner because it was impossible for me.
Do you feel that was a huge sacrifice, or did you enjoy
it?
No,
not at all. I enjoyed.
They've grown up now, so looking back, do you think, no, I was in the right place at the right time for them?
I enjoyed being a housewife.
Yeah.
Or whatever the PC term
is. A housewife sounds very, very old, doesn't it?
1950s.
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 Yeah.
But no, I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed developing and doing things with them. Was it easy? No, it wasn't.
No.
It's a lot of hard work and taking that responsibility and doing it by yourself. You know, without it can be hard. We lived in the northwest where we all grew up.
Yeah, sure.
Because my sister and my family were there to support me when Gareth was away.
Yeah.
You know, and
so you've had a big family network.
Yeah, and
helping to raise them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And now in business, you're close.
Yeah, and exactly.
Amazing.
And my sister works with us as well. Even though it's remote because she lives in France.
But she went to a different school, didn't she?
She did.
I've not met your sister.
No, you didn't know my sister.
No, but a couple of years younger than you.
Yeah.
And just the two girls. Mum and Dad had the two girls.
Absolutely. I think if my dad had had boys, he'd have probably left home. He's not exactly patient. He didn't know. He didn't know what
little boys like Henry North, you know.
Oh, thanks.
I think he liked the idea of boys, but in reality, it would have been a challenge for him. He quite liked having two little girls. It was quite fun for him.
But these two little girls that have grown up and what does your sister do?
Well, she went to university and did ocean science and oceanography at Plymouth.
Wow.
And her first job out of university was working at Bristol Port. And she works in the navigation department, bringing all the big ships up the Severn Estuary and into Avonmouth and Portbury. And then she became the manager of a container terminal at a very young age, in her mid-20s, and managed the loading and unloading of Panamax ships. But it was challenging in a very male environment, and for somebody so young, it turned, I think, it stopped. She was on call all the time. So I think she decided she needed to be a bit more, have a life.
Okay, more balance.
Work-life
balance, yeah.
And she went on to do other things.
I think a lot of the women and men, but women mainly that are listening today, mums, will be trying to gauge that. Young mums thinking, how am I going to, manage a career, a family? I don't think it is easy. It is a juggle. I don't think I've ever met any woman that said, "Oh, you can have it all."
No, either way, you have to sacrifice. Yeah, you have to sacrifice something,
even for a short period of time. For a while.
If you're working, then you potentially are sacrificing some time that you wish you had with your family.
Yeah.
If you're at home with your kids, you get that time, but you don't have. I did miss adult conversation quite a lot of the time, and I didn't have Betty then. Betty is very good to talk to. She understands absolutely everything and gives great advice.
And on cue, there she is. Thank you, Betty, for that. That growl.
And it can be isolating being at home with the kids all the time, and you have to make the effort to meet mums through school and other things like that. And
were you ever on the PTA?
I was actually the chair of Harriet's preschool for a year, 2 years when she was there, and it put me off doing anything.
Okay, so love your honesty. Well, it's not for everybody, the PTA. You know,
it's a lot
it's
of
a commitment.
It's a lot of politics and trying to get people to engage.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like anything, trying to get people to engage or give up their time.
It's like running a business in a way.
It
isn't
is.
It?
And
you don't get paid for.
People see you coming and start running around the corner.
Yeah,
you know,
she's after more time.
Yeah,
she needs
or
me.
You know, contributions to. Can you do this? And you know,
hard.
it is hard. It's essential for
Absolutely
charity and any organisation.
Yeah. No, we need parent power in schools as well.
The dog is scratching herself against the camera. Betty, love. Move.
Betty, you're bringing all the excitement into this show. I love
Good
it.
girl.
You should come on all my podcasts.
Good girl.
Oh,
good girl.
She's so cute. So, just to say again about Lucia's World for a second, because
please do.
Again, like you were saying, I haven't seen you for a while. I saw you at a friend's
hen weekend.
We had a hen weekend together.
We did.
Which was a lot of fun. I brought a pasta parcel.
You did.
And
I can't remember what I got in the pasta parcel.
I think you might have got like a washing up glove. There was an item.
There was definitely a washing up glove.
It could have been an eye patch. It could have been a rain hood. And inside each wrapper, you had to
photographs somewhere, but we won't dig those out now.
No, not right now. No. But it was a great weekend for our lovely friend Kate. It was fabulous. But I haven't seen it, and that must be. Is that coming up to like 9 years ago? Is it that long? See, feels like 9 minutes.
Yeah.
So even coming up here today, it's like we've just clicked.
It was.
Again.
It was 2014, 2015. Yeah. So possibly 10 years ago.
That's just
yeah.
It just goes so fast. But as you know, in that 10 years, I've been super busy as well because I've been on the pod trail.
And again, I've been watching your development on social media and doing the pod trail. My children were young enough.
Great.
To get involved. So we had the
book.
And all those kind of things.
Which is now in the app. You know, it's become digital.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Cool.
There's 7 stories in there. And pod is one that they can illustrate themselves and print into a PDF version. Or a hardback book. So that's what we've been developing. We've got a new tech company at the moment, so we're doing more with them. It's evolving, you know, every month. But yeah, the idea that of children can be creative and print a book with me. So I'm the writer and they're the illustrator.
Fab.
So your children had the original soft copy books of that when it was at conceptualization stage. It was like, okay, this is the idea. I'll become the writer. They can be the illustrator. You draw all the pictures, and then. Yeah, 5 years ago, I had seed investment.
Hey, we need your drum.
Thank you. To develop the app that gets kids off apps, because I think again it's causing a lot of mental health problems.
I agree.
Social problems. Yeah. Isolation. All these things, and I, the idea that children can be outdoors.
I think they've missed the way that we socialised.
Yeah, it was to play out.
None of that playing out and having the the freedom to make mistakes without too many repercussions.
And not a camera in your face.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Putting it online. Can you imagine, Lucy?
Nights out.
Oh
no.
What happened
when
I
was obviously older? That would not want that.
No,
you know.
And I do feel for them now that we're filming today.
Yeah,
we're filming everything.
Everything's on film. People spend more time taking photographs rather than enjoying the view that they're trying to photograph.
Yeah, you see that at concerts, don't you, where they're watching it through a lens as opposed to actually watching the artist.
Time with friends. So you're constantly taking photographs. You know, I try and avoid being in any photographs as often as possible.
Why? When you're so gorgeous, I've seen you in this photograph here. You are gorgeous.
It was professionally done, and I don't think anybody ever really totally likes the way that they look. I don't think it's human nature to do that.
I think you're right. I think women do. I think women give themselves a hard time.
I think that. But
I think we do. It's a natural thing that we do.
Always been asked to be the epitome of whatever's fashionable, but the problem is fashion changes. Yeah. Both your clothes and...
I mean, would you wear this top? Is this
a bit bright
for
me? I only ever wear black or navy blue, to be fair. Occasionally, I've zhuzhed it up with a colourful scarf or something, but I think society, and it's not even society, it's consumerism.
Okay.
I think driving, this is the way everybody should look this season, you know, that's what you need to go out and do. And it'll be really interesting to see, I think, in 10, 15 years' time, how what is hailed as the current way everybody should look.
Yes, the current trend.
The current trend, and how different that is in 15 years' time. I mean, a lot of the fashion that we used to wear at schools come back into fashion. Harriet's like, my daughter's like, oh, look at that. And it's like, I used to wear stuff like that. I've got a pair of shoes, you can borrow those. Actually, no, because Harriet is always coveting my shoe collection.
Oh, right, okay.
No.
So they need to be hidden.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the Pop-Up Podcast.
Thank you very much for coming.
You are gorgeous.
Pleasure.
And I hope to see you more regularly. Let's keep this friendship going. Yeah?
Definitely.
Not just online.
Let's
stay in touch.
Yeah, it's good to do this, and it reminds you how important it is just talking about social media and things, face-to-face contact. And
it's important, isn't it?
It's really important.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks, Henry.